Hey, hope you guys are well. Thank you for your support as always. And as usual, today in Del's Kitchen, we have a very good recipe for meat lovers. So we're going to make Lacy lamb cutlets with tomato gravy. Another one of those Parsi dishes where you spice it up the way you want. It's very simple with a sweet and tangy spicy tomato sauce. You can have it with rice, you can have it with chapati, any type of food. So let's get on first with our mutton cutlets. Here I have 1 kilo of mutton mince, which has around 3 tablespoons of homemade ginger garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of salt. So I'm just gonna give this a good mix so it's all covered up with your ginger garlic paste and salt. And these are the ground spices for your cutlets. So I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1 tablespoon of coriander powder. Now these are all homemade spices apart from the chili powder and turmeric. So in that goes, here we have around 6 green chilies which are finely chopped, and we have a handful of fresh mint which is also finely chopped going in. 2 large onions which are finely chopped. Now this is for your tomato gravy. However, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of it. So I probably say about half an onion. Cooked onions lend a better flavor to your lamb or mutton cutlets. So that's exactly what I'm going to put. Last but not the least, I'm going to put a huge bunch of coriander leaves. I'm not going to put any potato or any bread or breadcrumbs to bind the mince. So I'm just going to start working into it with my hand. Now that the mixture for cutlets is ready, we'll just leave it to rest for the spices to kind of marinate with the mince. So for the tomato gravy, I'm going to use a deep saucepan, and I've poured around 4 tablespoons of oil, in which I shall first put a few cardamom pods, around 7 to 8. And 3 to 4 sticks of cinnamon, after which I will put my 1.5 onions which I've chopped, and I will let them cook till they're translucent. They don't need to brown as such, but they just need to soften. I'm also going to add 1 whole sprig of curry leaves to flavor your sauce. While this gently cooks on a nice low flame to soften up, I'm going to chop around 8 tomatoes, which are really nice and ripe and quite squishy. Perfect for gravy. So if you land up with overripe tomatoes, you know what to do. Although we have spices to put in our tomato gravy, I'm also putting like 6 fresh cloves of garlic, and they're quite big, so if you have small ones, take more, and around 4 green chilies roughly chopped. Now you don't need to chop them fine because all of this will be blitzed up. So I'm really pleased with the way the onions are looking. This is exactly how they should be cooking. They're translucent, they're softened, and they're not very burnt or brown, just enough. Here we have our ground spices. 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1.5 tablespoon of Parsi sambar, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. If you don't get Parsi sambar, very easy to get in any kanya shop or any masala shop. You can just add another tablespoon of chili powder. It really doesn't matter. In go our powdered spices. Stir them in and let them fry a bit with the onion. Now these are your roughly chopped tomatoes. I'm just going to now add 2 glasses of water. So this is my second glass of water, which I'm adding. Just leave it to simmer and cook slowly. So this will take a while. To start off with, put it on a high heat till you feel, yes, the tomatoes are nice and soft now. And then put it on low heat and let it simmer for a good 10-15 minutes at least. Just going to put some salt in. It's a good idea to probably put a lid and let it do its work. So I've got 3 eggs to start with 1/4 teaspoon of salt. What I'm going to do is, because we need the lacy effect, like the ribbon effect once it hits the oil, so I'm just going to gently whisk these. Another trick of the trade is, if you want that lacy effect, just a tiny bit of water to your egg mix will lighten it. I've got my frying pan with oil warming up. It's now time to dig into your mutton mince and make around 12 cutlets. So firstly, nice clean hands. Take a nice helping and just kind of let it move around the palm of your hands, and then we just flatten it. I've got a plate full of coarse semolina, so I will just kind of be sure it's all coated. to the tricky bit. I've done 4 cutlets which have been coated in semolina, and the oil is nice and hot now. So I'm going to quickly put them in the egg mix. Remove any sort of excess eggy mixture, and then because the oil is hot, you can see how it starts ribboning up. Let it cook for around 4 minutes on each side. It doesn't take very long for the mince to cook. Now I've left the cutlets for around 3 minutes and they're already kind of brown. Turn them around and let them keep cooking. One way to check if these are cooked in the middle is if you press them down and they are spongy, that means they're still pink. These are now ready. I'm just going to get them off the heat in a plate with a tissue and let them cool down for a bit. It's been a good 20 minutes, I would say. Ready to be blitzed. But before we do that, I'm going to just remove the cinnamon and cardamom as I can see them, because we don't want them blitzed up. I'm going to just put some red vinegar in my mix. And it's done for blitzing. Now just be careful when you do this because it might splatter. Finish blitzing the tomato gravy and dodged some really powerful shots of tomato being flying on my skin. You're welcome to sieve this and make it smooth, so it's literally ready to eat. See how easy this was. Obviously I forgot to put the jaggery, so now I'm just going to put the big lump of jaggery to sweeten it up a bit. Let it melt for another 5 minutes. And time to decorate our plate. Here we have it, my creation. So you have mutton cutlets with a lovely rich tomato gravy, homemade one as well. So best bit now, cut into your cutlet. And you can see how delicious that looks. And it smells divine. And this would go so well with chapattis. It's truly delicious. Thanks for watching this episode of Mutton Cutlets with Tomato Gravy. And please also have a look at Delskitchen Wimbledon, our new page, telling you what's on for this week. This week we're trying the very traditional Parsi Ras Chawal, which is a tomato-based soupy sauce with chicken and white rice. We'll see you again. Thank you for your support and much love to you all. Bye.